You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, we welcome you back to the 7 Mile Casino Studios here of Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. It is Monday. We are coming off the Thanksgiving holiday. Happy to have all of the 1090 radio listeners with us, all of the YouTube viewers that are hanging out with us as usual, and all the TV viewers tonight that'll catch up to us on Channel 4 San Diego, part of the Cox Your View Network. And listen, if you like Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, etc., we're available on every audio podcast platform as well. So happy to have everybody here. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I know I sure did. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit later because something happened this weekend that is a complete and utter game changer, at least in my life. And I'll explain what I mean coming up in just a little bit. But before we do, Grande, Brown Man,
yeah,
you guys want to try something here? There's so much that happened over the weekend, so much that happened in sports. Let's see if we can set it all up. And then we'll move on from there. Let's go through all the big headlines that we've prepared for everybody today, and then we'll get more specific. We'll get more granular. Interesting word. You guys use you guys use granular at all? You guys ever use that word?
I use Grammarly.
Grammarly, we know you use.
Mm-hmm.
We know you use.
By the way, shout out Kaplan and Crew. Blog post, brown bag, one up.
Browner, you have a new blog post up on kaplanandcrew.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's it about?
Yeah.
Because they terrible, bro. Open their last three, but we'll get to that. Let's hit these slides real hard.
Yeah. The Rams. I'll tell you one thing, just an initial thought here. You know, if I'm Jared Goff and I got it, my team stinks, okay? But if you're Jared Goff and you're looking at the Rams, aren't you thinking to yourself, it wasn't me? I mean, they blamed me exclusively, but it really wasn't just on me, you know? And so Browner's Brown Bag blog is now up on kaplanandcrew.com, and Alex just showed it up on the screen. And then I saw that you put a cited post in there as well, so very nice. Actually, real quick, before we do get to these slides, Browner, how are things going? Tell everybody who's watching and listening, how are things going in advance of the Great Friends Sunset Cruise with Next Level Sailing, the Yacht America, Captain Fathom, and Captain Troy Sears? Are we getting positioned here? Because today's November 29th? I never know the date. And I look at my watch as if it's going to tell me.
Does it not have it?
It doesn't have it on the front page. So I got to reset this watch.
You know what? You know what's hard about that? Finding the right face on your Apple Watch.
I've just started watching it. I've just started wearing the watch. I've only started wearing it because I started to try and get myself back into running a little bit. So I'm only wearing it for exercise, but I'm trying to wear it all day long. And I find that a watch gets in my way. But I don't know the date. When I look at my Apple Watch, I should be seeing the date, and I don't see the date. So we're like, we're less than 2 weeks away now from the Great Friends Cruise, right?
It's only 11th.
Yeah, December 11th. And we have all these new hoodies that are coming, so our guests will have hoodies. But Browner and I are putting onto the kaplanandcrew.com website a new store. We've never done this before. We've
not
never
ready
sold...
yet, so don't go to it, Alex.
Yeah,
not ready yet.
We've never sold merch or anything. We've never done this before. But we all have these great ideas for T-shirts and hats and phrases and stuff. And so Alex, cousin Nancy from Wicked Graphics, completely hooked us up and created like a online store for us. And me and Browner are trying to figure out how to use it now.
We about to be like FUBU.
FUBU. Let's not be like FUBU.
What you mean?
Like FUBU up in here.
They're not around. They're not around anymore.
FUBU was a global company. It was poorly mismanaged at the top. That will not happen here, sir.
All right.
I also have an update for the not the bus. What are we doing? A boat.
The bus.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm currently planning a bachelor party with a party bus, which is why I said bus. We have an update. Mike Hess will be providing the beer.
Yeah.
For all the great friends.
To answer your question, we are basically locked in with our invites, our sponsor invites. Those people have all reached out with the exception of one person that I need to personally email. And after that, we'll know that number. So once that number is solid, we can then start eliminating the people that you've invited.
Then we'll go through Scott's email list, which is about half the guests, and then we'll know how many we have.
We'll have nothing left, but we'll see who on Scott's list he has to email until they can't come because we're out of numbers.
All right. All I'm going to say is this: this is going to be a very exciting month on the show. Okay, the month of December is going to be very exciting because we have the Great Friends Cruise coming up on December 11th, which is going to be fantastic, and also coming up, starting it'll either be later this week or probably going to be next week. We have a lot of people that listen and watch the show that have companies that have great holiday gift ideas. And what we want to do is we want to say thank you to our great friends. And we want to show, I'll give you an example. We have one guy who listens every day, and he has a robe company, like a bathrobe. Okay.
Shout out to robes.
And I don't know what's so unique about this robe, but he's been hitting me up going, dude, I got to get you guys robes. I got to get you guys embroidered, personalized robes. And I said, well, hey, you know what? Why don't we show these robes to all the great friends? And then this way, maybe we can help you sell a bunch of them during the holidays. By the way, we're not getting anything from it. We're not creating any kind of a deal. There's no promo code with our name on it or anything. It's just you're a great friend, listener, or viewer. These are great friends listening and watching. Let's put everybody together. So we have a whole bunch of ideas, and we have a whole bunch of listeners that have companies that want to sell for the holidays. So we're trying to put 2 and 2 together here. So stay with me. Just today's Monday. We're back off a nice extended holiday. Just work with me today, everybody. Humor me a little bit if my brain's going in a million different directions. All right, here we go. Sports. Huge weekend of sports. and today, being Monday, one of the biggest stories in sports today is that the Dodgers are going to lose Max Scherzer to free agency to the New York Mets. Now, look, the Mets ownership, and you guys have heard this name, Steve Cohen. He's a big hedge fund guy in New York. He bought the Mets. This guy's typical billionaire. I want to win, and I want to win now. What does it take? Go get me the best free agent pitcher. I don't care how much it costs. And if you're Max Scherzer and you're now like 37 years old and somebody's willing to offer you a 3-year, $130 million deal, which if I were the Dodgers, I wouldn't do that deal. We saw how Scherzer ran out of gas at the end of the year this past season. But the Mets, you talk about go for it mode like the Rams. The Mets will spend whatever it takes. They got a billionaire owner who desperately wants to win on the biggest stage in New York City. What has he done? According to the reports earlier today, went out and got Max Scherzer from the Dodgers. If you're a Padre fan, fellas, that's good news for you.
Yeah, if there's one thing that baseball has showed us, it's that spending a lot of money in free agency always brings you a Major League World Baseball title.
Shocker.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Wait, no, it doesn't. That's right. So, yeah, the Mets not only signed Scherzer to a $130 million deal over the weekend. I don't know if you guys paid attention. They signed 3 players to a combined $125 million. So they've spent $260 million on 4 players, which is going to work out great for them. I can see it now. The Mets finished behind the Braves in the NL East. Mark it.
2 words. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Max Scherzer's a great pitcher.
But
he's
Scott,
getting older.
I knew where you were going with that.
I
knew where you were going with that, and I think it is a win. The fact that he's gone from the Dodgers, yeah, huge win for the Padres. You don't have to worry about him no more. But as far as him being 37 years old and getting paid $43 million a year, good luck, Mets.
Yeah, good luck is right. And if you're Clayton Kershaw right now, you're probably loving life because Kershaw, who is going to have a lot of options, you would think, is also kind of older guy, back end of his career, always seems to be hurt, but the market has been set. Now, I'm not saying that Kershaw is going to get anywhere near this kind of money, but at least Kershaw can go back to the Dodgers now and say, hey, you're going to you let him go. Now you're going to let me go too? It's only going to cost you $20 million a year to keep me. I mean, I think this was a big win for Kershaw. And it's a big win for Padre fans, the way I see it, because if the Dodgers don't have Scherzer and they do have Kershaw, who always seems to be hurt now, if you're a Padres fan, you're probably loving these moves.
Unless he tricked you into signing him.
If you lose Scherzer and the chances of, Bauer's probably gone, right?
Oh, they don't want him back.
So, right. So, Dustin May, I'm not sure how long it takes to come back from Tommy John anymore. If you're looking at the Dodgers rotation right now, it's Buehler and Urias.
That's it.
That's what you got.
That's what you have right now. That's right. So, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. For everybody that's listening on 1090, for everybody that's watching on YouTube, for everybody that's watching us on Channel 4 San Diego on television, we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. And let's go through all the stories we've prepared for you today, coming off an amazing sports weekend. And then between the 3 of us, we'll decide which ones we want to dive deeper into. Here we go. Let's start it off. Number 1, since we started with baseball, the Padres made a move this past weekend. Adam Frazier, the guy that they had gotten from the Pittsburgh Pirates, well, just didn't exactly work out, did it? So what did the Padres do? They got rid of Adam Frazier, sent him to Seattle, brought in some prospects because we know that the farm system has certainly been depleted as they've made trades. So Adam Frazier, it's good to know you, pal. You came in, you didn't really do everything that you were advertised as, and the Padres said, hasta la vista. Adam Frazier. Hey, Browner, at least now you'll know his name because there it is on the screen for you, because I know you wouldn't know his name otherwise.
Hey man, look, I don't know what the point of this. I thought that you had a guy who, according to them, hit for 300 or had the ability to hit for average. Now you send them away for two dudes again. Please don't talk to me about minor league prospects. I don't care until they become major league players. This is no direction for me. This does nothing. Now, I saw something on Twitter that got my attention. I'm gonna repeat it on this show. I don't know who to credit, but they know who said it. Now, do that with Eric Hosmer. Then we're cool. Do that same thing you just did. Now do it with Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, I could live with Will Myers. I mean, I wouldn't want him to stick around, but I could live with Myers. I can't live with Myers and Hosmer.
Right.
Can't do them both.
This just goes to show what. Listen, I'm going to pound this. I understood that he got Bob Melvin. I understood that he traded for Fernando Tatis, and I understood that he got Manny Machado. But this Adam Frazier trade last year was the death blow to the Padres. You never fit. They put him at cleanup. Why would you put him at cleanup? This is a mismanagement of assets completely last year from AJ Preller for even trading for something that you didn't need. If it was part one of a two-part trade, it's a complete failure because you never finished the second part. Last year, I mean, I understand that we got our scapegoat. Jay Stingler's gone now, but I'm still pointing the finger at AJ Preller for why this season failed. I mean, he didn't bring in a single pitcher when they needed pitching. He brought in an all-star second baseman that they just didn't need, and then they put him at cleanup a couple times or third. It's like, dude, this guy is a leadoff hitter. You put him there and you leave him there, and if you're going to play him, you play him every single day at second base where he belongs. Just a mess of a trade.
It was.
And it just felt bad for Frazier because it's not his fault that he got traded to a contender and it just didn't work out because they didn't know how to manage the guy.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's keep going. Let's keep rolling here. Keeping it hyper local for now. San Diego State's football team. Brady Hoke. Yeah. Hey, it's pizza night, everybody. Chicken doesn't belong on pizza. It's a sin to put chicken or barbecue sauce on pizza. Got to give it up to San Diego State. You know, they were getting beat up early by Boise State. And when you don't have a team that can throw the ball and you're not considered a team that has the explosive offensive ability to make a comeback, ton of credit goes to San Diego State's defense. And then the coaching staff for saying, you know what? Our starting quarterback's not getting it done. Let's go back to the kid who was originally our starting quarterback. And the kid comes in and he had an amazing day. 11 of 15 passing, 192 yards and a touchdown. He ran for 46 yards and a rushing touchdown. Jordan Brookshire, what a great story of a kid. And both of these guys, Lucas Johnson and Jordan Brookshire, both great stories of perseverance, of not being selfish, of not being ego-driven. Alex, I'm curious, what were you thinking as Boise State was handing it to San Diego State? But then, credit the Aztecs, they made a huge comeback, and they'll play in the Mountain West Conference Championship game this upcoming Saturday. The game I'd like to try and – it is Saturday, isn't it?
Dude, field trip.
It is Saturday, right? It's Saturday, the game?
Saturday at noon at Dignity Health Sports Park, and I was going to start field trip. Who's coming with me, dude?
You know, I really want to go. My girlfriend, and I'm trying to figure out.
Browner, you don't like that.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this. My girlfriend has arranged for us to go to Tijuana on Saturday and build homes for like needy families.
No, man.
Like I'm taking like hammers and tools and stuff, and I'm going down there like just to be a nice guy. But I don't want to go. I mean, no offense to all of our listeners down in TJ. I love you people. Okay, love you guys. Mi hermanos, mi hermanos y hermanas. But I don't want to go. I would much rather go to this San Diego State football game.
Pick that hammer up, big dog. Pick that hammer up. Grab them nails. Build them homes, dog. Don't.
But I will. Wait.
So you can get it in the game.
Yeah.
For $10.
Wait. But did you guys hear the story this weekend about Boise State's offensive coordinator is from San Diego? His father would not go to the game, even though his son was coaching for Boise State. Did you guys hear the story?
Yeah.
Okay. The father, who lives in San Diego, we must get this dad on, refused to go see his son coach Boise State against San Diego State simply because it was in Dignity Sports Health Park, because that's the stadium that hosted the Chargers when they moved from San Diego. So the dad made a stand and said, I'm not even going to go see my son coach for Boise State. Listen, I feel terrible now.
Does he have a card?
I don't know if he does. No, he probably doesn't. I need to give him one. I need to
You
give
need
him
to get
one.
him a card.
Come on.
The guy,
Come on,
card.
I
Dad.
got to think of the guy's name. The offensive coordinator for Boise State. I'm going to find it here real quick.
You're just rewinding my memory because I know Toby sent this to us, but he sent it like on Thursday or something.
The video. His name is Tim Plough. Plow. If anybody knows the dad of the offensive coordinator of Boise State, who would not go to the San Diego State-Boise State game simply because it was in the stadium that accommodated the Chargers. That, sir, that is making a stand. I respect it. I appreciate it. I'd love to have you on the show. All right, keep going.
I think you're burying the lead that the San Diego State Aztecs are having an incredible season, and they get the chance to go to the LA Bowl that I predicted if they beat Utah State on Saturday at noon.
I was looking.
Beat Utah State on Saturday.
Yeah.
Get the Mountain West Championship, and unless for whatever miraculous reason a New Year's Six Bowl calls you, chances are you're going to the LA Bowl against a Pac-12 team.
I was looking up the LA Bowl and I was trying to figure out what time it is and what day it is. I want to say it's like December 18th at about 4:30 in the afternoon. So, accommodating East Coast television. But I really would love to go to the LA Bowl if San Diego State's playing. And I'm hoping that San Diego State will play UCLA because that would be really fun to see what San Diego State would do against UCLA. That'd be great. Okay, keep us rolling here, Alex. Keep us moving. What's going on? Okay, and by the way, wait, real quick. Speaking of college football, how about the story of USC getting Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma? If you are Lincoln Riley and you're thinking about what Oklahoma is going to be when they get to the SEC versus what they currently are in the Big 12, and USC under the radar, hey, coach, are you going to LSU? I am not going to be the next head coach at LSU. Well, nobody ever asked him about USC. And credit to Mike Bone, the former San Diego State athletic director, who's now at USC as their AD, for keeping this quiet, for coming up with the kind of money that it must have taken. I haven't seen a report on that yet. The kind of money that it must have taken to get a 38-year-old super hot coach who's already been to 3 of the Final Fours of college football. In his 4 years of coaching at Oklahoma, he's been there 3 times. He's got first-round draft choice quarterbacks. He's got Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. He's got 3 guys who are starters in the NFL at quarterback. This was a monster move by USC and probably a huge ego blow to Oklahoma. What do you guys think about that?
I can't believe they actually pulled this off because it came out of nowhere. I was reading Saturday night. Oh, he's going to LSU. He's going to LSU. And then he denied it. I'm not going to be the next head coach of LSU, which to me is always a signal. Oh, this guy's going to LSU. You're right. Like that's what coaches do all the time. Now it's Cliff Kingsbury saying, I am not going to Oklahoma. Well, he actually didn't say that. He's like, I am focused on whoever they're playing next. Anyways, I legitimately am shocked. I don't know if he's going to be able to take them to a national championship because he wasn't able to do it at Oklahoma. But I will tell you that USC is probably back to being a top contender for Pac-12, Rose Bowls, playoffs. They will be there, I would say, in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Have you seen what all the recruits are bailing in Oklahoma?
Right.
All of them.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 top recruits from Southern California that he's already talked to because he landed in LA today. Oklahoma, good luck in the SEC. But for USC, I think this is a great hire.
Yep. An amazing move. This was as shocking to me as when the Padres hired Bob Melvin. Shocker. Just because a guy was under contract, had a job, and no one was mentioning his name. Everybody was talking about Luke Fickell, the coach at Cincinnati, or other names that had surfaced recently, but no one had mentioned Lincoln Riley. 38-year-old guy with all that success, with all that cachet when it comes to high school ball players. And USC, I'm going to tell you right now, will have a top 10 recruiting class this year because all those big stars, like that quarterback from Los Alamitos High in Orange County, that kid was going to Oklahoma because he wanted to get to the NFL. He wanted to play for Lincoln Riley. He wanted to be the next guy who's, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. What's the guy's name in Philadelphia?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. That's what this kid at Los Al wanted to be. This high school kid who was going to Oklahoma. I bet you that kid winds up coming to SC.
Not only that, the kid that's at Oklahoma right now, Spencer Radler, announced this morning, I'm transferring too. Not where,
He's
but
trash,
he's
though. He trash.
Still, I'm saying the point is that Oklahoma's going to get purged. He already took like 5 or 6 assistants with him. They all flew in the same plane today.
Really?
They have already announced the quarterback's transferring. And I don't know if he's good or bad. I don't watch Oklahoma. But what I'm telling you is that the point of the story is that kids that were going or are at Oklahoma will now leave Oklahoma, and some will end up at USC.
All I will say about this situation is be very careful of how much hoopla you give this, because it's the day of. Yeah, people are excited about it, but the guy didn't win anything at Oklahoma. He'll get you to the NFL if you're a quarterback. If you're an offensive player, he will get you to the NFL. So, yeah, your recruiting numbers and all that will go up, but he didn't win anything there.
You know, you say that, though.
But I would say that.
I disagree, man. I mean, listen, Oklahoma has been right there with Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson. I mean, like every year they're in the Final Four.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
They're in I think Browner, you're right. He has not won the big one,
right?
And he's actually pretty bad in bowl games,
right?
But I would say for USC getting into the playoff for their first time since this whole thing started is a massive in game as to what I think he'll bring.
But it's not just getting into the championship. You know, it's not just getting into the college football Final Four. It's about recruiting. Too many kids who are from LA or Orange County or even San Diego, those kids don't look at USC anymore the way they did when Reggie Bush had the choice to go anywhere he wanted to in the world. Reggie Bush wanted to go to SC. The kids now, because of the previous coaching staff and the fact that the Coliseum is empty and the fact that USC doesn't play for national titles anymore, this coach and his reputation, total game changer. Well, I tried to get to all the big stories. I'm not even close. Let's get to the Chargers and the Rams next. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio, the all-new and mightier 1090.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help.
Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for CalFresh.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great googly moogly. Oh, yeah. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
To be homeless means that you've lost your community. East County Transitional Living Center, also known as ECTLC, is a community where we take homeless people off the streets and bring them into our community. We serve a little over 400 people, men, women, and children every day, who were formerly homeless and now are in our residential programs. We work them through the program, we get them jobs, we get them back into life. We teach them basic things, hygiene, when to get up in the morning, how to do a 40-hour week. What we do here is we give them the opportunity for on-the-job experience. In their work therapy training, they're learning how to report to a supervisor, how to become a supervisor, how to be a good employee. You don't want to enable a homeless person to remain homeless, which means go feed them. So if you're out there and you see a homeless person and you want to try to help them, give to your local charity.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
For the first time ever, Orange County Soccer Club are the 2021 USL Championship champions. OCSC beat the Tampa Bay Rowdies on Sunday night 3-1. Ronaldo Damus got the scoring started in the 24th minute. Then it was Damus again in the 38th minute, giving OCSC a 2-goal lead. Miko Kaningas would get the third goal of the night for OCSC to close out the first half. While close to a clean sheet and a shutout of the Rowdies, Tampa Bay did find the net in the 57th minute, but that would be all that OCSC was going to allow in the championship match. A huge congratulations to Orange County Soccer Club on their USL Championship title and on a great season. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
He's in the 40. Is he going to go?
Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Big return left sidelines off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Great friends, we welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino studios here of Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. If you're listening on the airwaves of 1090, glad to have you guys here. If you are with us on YouTube, we always tell you, you're the heart and soul of what we do around here. And if you're catching up to us tonight on television, really glad to have you guys as well. This Channel 4 and Cox Your View thing that we started earlier in the year has been a tremendous hit for us. And we're really excited to be on television as well. So for everybody who's listening in all these different platforms, radio, YouTube, TV, audio, podcast, happy to have everybody as we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino studios. All right, fellas, look, we said we wanted to try and get to all the top headlines that we've prepared for today, but we weren't as successful as I would have hoped. So let's keep rolling here. We were talking about the Scherzer move from the Dodgers to the Mets. We were talking about the Padres trading Adam Frazier. We started talking about San Diego State and the Mountain West Conference Championship game being played in L.A. this upcoming Saturday. And speaking of college football and L.A., the Lincoln Riley move from Oklahoma to USC and what that means in college football and specifically what it means to recruiting here in Southern California. So that's kind of where we left off, right, Grande? I mean, I think I kind of nailed it there, don't you think? Okay, so let's keep rolling then. Here goes. Thursday, you have NFL football, but that's like ages ago or so it seems. And other than fights between Raider fans and Cowboy fans, there's really not a whole lot about Thursday's Thanksgiving football that I want to get back into. Let's go to what happened yesterday around the National Football League. And let's start off locally, okay? I'll start off with the Chargers. You know, I keep trying to tell everybody in LA when I'm doing ESPN radio up that way. Don't buy the hype. I'm trying to remember. They lost to the Broncos yesterday, but last week, who did they beat? They beat Pittsburgh, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They beat
Sunday
Pittsburgh
night.
last Sunday night. Now, you saw Pittsburgh get ham-slammed by the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday. The Ben Roethlisberger era of Steeler football has lasted probably 2 years too long, you know? And so he's done. The Steelers are done. And Mike Tomlin needs to admit that. Steelers ownership needs to admit it. And frankly, Ben Roethlisberger probably needs to go off into the sunset and say, you know what? I tried. I gave it my best. I still wanted to compete. I still wanted to play. I don't have it anymore. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the win that the Chargers had over them, really not looking that impressive, is it, when the Steelers get destroyed by Cincinnati? But now the Chargers go to Denver, and they're playing against the Broncos. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think a lot of people thought the Broncos were very good. But now when you look at the standings in the AFC West, Kansas City's in the lead by a game, but the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders are all 6-5. The Raiders win over the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, puts the Raiders right back into the mix. The Broncos beating of the Chargers yesterday puts them into the mix. And the Chargers being at 6-5, I mean, just taking an honest look at the Chargers. For all the hype this year, Brandon Staley, Justin Herbert, all the hype, big wins along the way, shootout against Cleveland, they're just not very good. You know, for all the talk about the Chargers and the talent and the on paper and new coach and excitement, unpredictable, goes for it on fourth down, just not very good. You go to play an average Denver team, if you think you're a real playoff contender, you got to win those kinds of games. And they didn't just lose yesterday. They got pounded by the Denver Broncos yesterday. Fellas, what do you think about the Chargers?
Listen, I was going to let you finish your piece, bro, but get out of here with that.
Get out of here with what? Get out of here with what?
Who's good? This has been the tagline of the season. Who's good? We don't know. So, yeah, their win against the Steelers doesn't look good this week, but we've said that about the Titans. We've said that about almost every team with the exception of the Cardinals. Because at one point, people were ready to put the Bills in the Super Bowl. The Patriots are in first place of that division. Like, this season has been more unpredictable than any season I could ever remember watching football. So what happened to them again, you can tell me injuries or they had offensive line guys banged up. I don't want to hear about none of that because everybody has basically beaten everybody this year. So the fact that the Chargers got their clock, they didn't get hammered, but the fact that they got mauled on the offensive line and Herbert couldn't get away from anybody, that's happened to a lot of teams this year. That's been the state of the NFL this year. So I wouldn't say that it's over. Like, again, they're still in the run for the play. I mean, the in the hunt is really kind of like, I don't like to use that term because everybody's still in the hunt, but they still got a chance at the division. I mean, again, it's not like the Chiefs ran away with it because 4 weeks ago, people said, what's wrong with the Chiefs?
Right, but don't you see like teams like the Chiefs and the Patriots as an example? Don't you see them as getting better, whereas the Chargers are not?
Okay, then what's wrong with the Cowboys?
They're just an overrated team that gets all this hype because Michael Irvin is on every television channel there is, and he just overhypes who the Cowboys are. And the other part of the problem with the Cowboys is that they found themselves in a desperate spot. You know, we all talked about Dak Prescott. Why would you give him $40 million a year coming off the injury he had last year? And, you know, he's already missed time. And none of us all thought that he was that great anyway. And by the way, now the Cowboys have a full-blown outbreak of COVID, and they play on a short week. They play this Thursday, and their head coach is out, and a whole bunch of other coaches are already out.
It's not a short week.
Say again, Alex?
It's not a short week.
When do they play?
They played
last Thursday. Excuse me.
They played
You're
on
right.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah. No, but listen, I think the difference between the Cowboys and the Chargers is that the Cowboys are simply being outcoached by certain teams. And I think Mike McCarthy, I think the game is similar to John Gruden. I think the game has passed him. Anyways, as far as the Chargers go, Browner, you couldn't sound more like a rookie when it comes to watching the Chargers because everything you said is 100% correct. This is an unpredictable season.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can beat everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in the hunt. They could end up in the playoffs. But the Chargers are the same old story every single year, and this is no different. They are incredibly talented. They are incredible. Everybody overhypes them, or about this. Everybody hypes them up every single year. As soon as they win a big game, the national media loves to crown them. Back to their days in San Diego, I will say, to be honest and fair here, it happens every single year. And every single year, they find a way to poop the bed. And this year, sometimes it happens either they get blown out in the playoffs by the Ravens or the Patriots. This year, they're kind of blowing it and pooping it and showing who they really are in the regular season. I don't think it's anything different or anything new for the Chargers. If you watch them every year, this is them every year.
Well, take a look at the beginning of the season.
Every year they trip up and find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit here and after week 12 and tell me that they are a Super Bowl contender, you're just not watching them.
Dude, take a look at who they were. They were 4-1. They were 4-1, and all people in LA who didn't pay attention to the Chargers, who ridiculed the Chargers for moving, for being irrelevant, et cetera, et cetera. At 4-1, those same people were starting to hype them like, the Chargers, maybe they're going to be the team. Maybe they're going to take over LA. Maybe they're going to play in the Super Bowl. Since they were 4-1, they're now 2-4 in their last 6 games. Their wins come against Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which doesn't really impress anybody because their combined record is 10-12-1. So the 2 wins are against 2 teams that are sub 500 combined. And in the losses, Herbert, 7 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 75. For all the Herbert hype out there, he has come back down to earth dramatically in his sophomore season.
I don't think it's a surprise either that the Broncos were able to do this on the day that Bradley Chubb returned from injured reserve. You know, like the fact that they were able to, which I've said, how many times I've said on the show, it's not hard. It's just difficult to do as opposed to saying it. Keep the kid in the box and he struggles. It's not an indictment on him as a player in his future. This is just a fact at the moment. Get someone in his face, he struggles. Pretty simple.
But
Keep him
also,
in. Don't let him run.
but also,
Did the Broncos let him run yesterday? No. Like the Steelers? No. Like it's just, and he threw 2 picks, including a pick 6.
And he
hard
threw
to
a
figure out.
And he threw a pick in the end zone. He was scrambling around and he threw a pick in the end zone. Very Phillip Rivers-esque, kind of important point in the game where the Chargers are driving on a drive where he picked up a brilliant 4th and 4 because he's scrambling all over the field and he throws the ball across the field. Listen, all I'm telling you is this, Browner, you're right. This has been a very unpredictable year. Anybody can beat anybody, but the Chargers are trending downward over the last 6 games. Do the numbers not prove that to you?
2 of their 4 losses that we're talking about right now are to first place division teams. Like, yeah, you would like for them to beat those teams, but they did not beat those teams. So it's not like their 4 losses are to Jacksonville, the Texans, and then to the Broncos, and then throwing, I don't know, the Giants or the Jets or something like that. They were beaten by 2 teams that are winning their respective divisions.
They lost at home to the New England when not everybody really bought into New England. Remember, I said 2 weeks ago, New England is back as a real Super Bowl contender, and I was ridiculed, Grande, as overreacting on a Monday. I think a lot of people around the country are saying the same thing right now about the New England Patriots. So they lost that game at home to New England by 3 points when most people didn't think New England was for real at that time.
And they got motorboated by the Ravens, who we saw last night.
But again, the Ravens almost lost to the Lions, and the Ravens almost lost to the Bears. So
right. So you saying the division leader thing doesn't really matter, right? Because you said everybody could beat everybody.
Right.
They lost.
So thank you. You helping my point. This idea that, this is what they always do. Again, they got a new head coach, they got a new quarterback. So the idea that what they do is like, these are new players. These are new players in an unpredictable season. Just as they've lost 2 out of the last 4, they can win.
They've lost 2 out of 6.
They can win 4 out of the next 6, and then 6 games left.
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
Right.
No, not when they play Cincinnati. Wait till my man Joe Burrow shows up.
Man, they're gonna get
in Cincy. Yeah. Ooh, unless Ronnie Brown's showing up, I don't think they're winning that game.
All right. Well, hold on a second, because
that's a deep cut for Browner. He didn't get that reference.
No. Ronnie Brown reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Was it Ronnie Brown?
I actually didn't, so I didn't get the reference
Ronnie
either.
Brown.
So I just kind of rolled with it.
Is he on the Chargers?
He was.
And he killed it. He had that crazy playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
Their last win in Cincinnati. I even got Scott with that one.
Yeah, I don't even remember what you're talking about.
B-side.
Okay.
All right, hold on a second, because now, since we're trying to hustle through a lot of big stories so we can kind of dig deeper into other ones, I want to turn our attentions to the Rams, because if you think the Chargers are a disaster,
talk about fraud.
Yeah, the Rams are a big disaster. Hold on, I'm going to get there in 1 second. Before I do, want to just remind everybody, we're getting ready to get out of the month of November and into the month of December. And this is the time of the year where people start to pack on pounds. This is the time of the year where people drink more than they should, they eat more than they should, they exercise less than they should. And then what happens? January 1st comes and you go, New Year's resolution. I'm ready to start losing some weight. Well, I want to talk to you guys for a minute here about your health now. Let's not wait until January 1st to make a New Year's resolution. There's no better time than the present to start right now when it comes to your health. Fellas, you get a little older, you slow down a little bit, you're not as interested in the bedroom as you once were. You get this thing called brain fog that you never even knew about it, but you're just not clear-minded the way you used to be. All I want to tell you is these are symptoms of low testosterone. You get older, your testosterone levels drop. It can really impact your health long-term. Go see our people at iThriveMD, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. You can come to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, click right on their logo. It'll take you there. And come visit iThriveMD. Get your testosterone levels checked for free. And then if you're ready to start a series of testosterone treatments, Dr. Samir Damani and all of the medical professionals at iThriveMD can guide you through what you're currently experiencing, what the numbers say, and when the numbers are right, how much different you're going to feel. So guys, look, I want to just remind you, you will not beat their prices anywhere in San Diego. There's a lot of other people out there that like to advertise for testosterone, but you're going to find that even at full retail value, their prices at iThriveMD are significantly lower than other testosterone clinics around San Diego. And there's so much more to iThriveMD than just testosterone. I always mention NAD, which is an energy for the cells of your body, and that makes you feel fantastic. Come on in, talk to Dr. Damani or any of the other docs at iThriveMD and find out why so many of our listeners are already sending me thank yous for introducing them to iThriveMD. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. I talked to Dr. Damani last week. He's like, hey, things have kind of slowed down a little bit. You know, you guys were killing it for us. And then things slowed down. I said, Doc, it's Thanksgiving. It's the holidays. It's people taking time off of work. It's people focusing on other stuff. Guys, get focused on your health as we pull into December. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497. Make your appointment right now. Okay. So we went from the Chargers and what's happened with them. Now let's talk about the Rams, because for all the talk about the Rams in go for it mode, and for all the talk about the Rams spending whatever it takes, moving contracts, all because they want to play in the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium. Do the Rams look like a real Super Bowl contender to you guys? And here's another thing. Jared Goff was the scapegoat. I mean, it was all about how Jared Goff could not really execute the Sean McVay offense. Oh, give me a veteran quarterback, someone with Hall of Fame statistics, somebody that the coach can really trust. And in the last 3 weeks, Matthew Stafford has reverted back to the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford, 3 games, 3 pick sixes. Odell Beckham, yeah, okay, great. He caught a touchdown pass yesterday. Guess what? He'll be hurt in the next couple of weeks. And I say it like that because he's already hurting. He's walking around. He's limping. His back is messed up. Von Miller made 1 play. He had 1 play yesterday for a tackle for loss. And then on the same series, winds up hitting the quarterback in the helmet to helmet, and costs his team 15 yards. All I'm saying to you guys is this. For all the talk about the Rams and how Jared Goff had to go and they need to go get Von Miller and Odell Beckham, nothing seems to be working out right now for the Rams. What do you guys say?
Can I just, Alex, you do a lot. You really do. And I appreciate your hard work, brother. But don't you feed into this national narrative of it's Odell's fault. Take Odell out of this. Take Odell out of there, okay? Put Jared Goff in there. Oh, not Jared Goff, I'm sorry. Put Matthew Stafford in that little picture.
I did.
There we go. Put the coach in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't put Odell. Odell ain't got nothing to do with this. I know Odell is good for them headlines and that purple hair, make it look all good and enticing.
He had I got to tell you, the reason I picked that picture is because it embodied the vibe for the Rams. It's the only one I could find where someone looked miserable. That's the only reason. I mean, honestly, I looked for Matt Stafford and he didn't look so miserable as this.
Oh, because Odell care.
Nothing against OBJ because he got his 10 targets.
Wow.
It amazed me that late in the game, they threw to Odell Beckham when he's limping around. His back is hurting. He's clearly not at 100%. And why they decide to try and force the ball to him. You've only worked with him for 2 weeks, barely. I feel like they're trying to listen. It's not Odell Beckham's fault, Browner. To your point, it's not Von Miller's fault either. It's the fact that they said Jared Goff was the problem. Okay, and you know what? I never believed that, not for a minute. And when I questioned Matthew Stafford, like, hey, so you got all these great stats in Detroit, but you don't have any wins to show for it. I had all these people in LA saying, how dare you? How could you dare say that to such a great player? Because I never bought into Matthew Stafford. Now, I'm not saying it won't work out eventually. It might. But I think people really should be looking at Sean McVay going, okay, he burst onto the scene. He had some instant success. He took a team to a Super Bowl. They got crushed. They couldn't score. And he's been searching for answers ever since. And Matthew Stafford, at least through week 12, all of a sudden the Rams look bad.
I think with their draft capital, that the little that they did have, they didn't address any of their actual needs. They have a non-existent linebacking core. They have mediocre running backs. They have an old offensive line, and they went out and got another pass rusher, which they didn't need. They got another receiver, which they didn't need, because he doesn't fill the Robert Woods role. It's just that simple. It's nothing against Odell Beckham, because he doesn't do what Robert Woods does. I think that the Rams were overrated in the beginning of the season because I think they were like the second or third best odds to win the Super Bowl. I think they're overrated now. I don't think anybody's rating them, but I think they're the word fraud I like for the Rams because they're 1-4 against winning teams and they're 6-0 against losing teams.
Who told y'all this when the season started? They was a fraud. Who did that? I think I could have swore it. I could have swore it was me. But if I told y'all Matthew Stafford threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, that sounds great, don't it? That sounds like somebody had a great day.
Kirk Cousins stat line.
Huh?
Kirk Cousins stat line.
Right. It sounds fantastic because that's what he did. That's what he did in Detroit this whole time. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 300 yards. Decent, over 50%, 55% completion percentage. So it looks like on paper, it's not his fault. When it is. You didn't see Aaron Rodgers struggling like this. Aaron Rodgers missing offensive linemen left and right. Aaron Rodgers got issues on his offense left and right. If Matt Stafford supposed to be this good.
Aaron Rodgers struggled yesterday.
If Matt Stafford supposed to be this good, he's supposed to make everybody else better on offense. So you need to be able to score. And at this point, I'm looking at the coach now. Because this ain't Matt Stafford's fault either. It's the coach. I'm looking at the coach now.
No, I think it's partially Matt Stafford's fault. Because going into the season, I think we were asking, what is Matt Stafford? Is he like a good statistical quarterback that just doesn't know how to win? Because right now that's what he is.
Why aren't we?
He's a good statistical quarterback that doesn't know how to win.
Why aren't we asking those same questions about Sean McVay?
I think it's legit.
I don't think we're asking the questions because we already know the answers.
What are the answers?
Right.
That he doesn't know how to win. He can't adjust in game. It goes back to that stat of him when he's trailing at halftime and how I think he's got 4 wins because if the game plan doesn't work, the game plan B doesn't exist. He sticks with it. He abandons the run right away.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Let me ask you this. Do you guys think that Sean McVay should now be on the quote-unquote hot seat?
No.
Yes.
No. I don't think
Same way Frank Vogel is.
Whoa.
You have too much talent. And it's going to be I don't care if it's perceived talent. You have too much talent to be struggling like they are against.
Well, Browner, why do you say no? I'm curious.
I'm going to try to block out the Frank Vogel part just because my mind is trying to do that thing where I weave the two things together. I would say no. Because even with the struggles, they're still in a position to win. They're not in a position they're not the Bears in the hunt. They're not the Vikings in the hunt. They are in a leadership position with full control on whether or not they make a good playoff run.
I didn't mean in-season firing.
No.
But after season firing.
No, but the hot seat is that this guy, if the season doesn't go a particular way, he's out.
Well,
I think unless they lose every game embarrassingly by the end of the year, he will. There's no reason to fire him.
But if they don't make the Super Bowl, they're going to.
All I'm saying is this: they've done everything they can do to get back to the Super Bowl because they put all of their faith into McVay. If it doesn't work out, as the owner of the franchise, at some point you say to yourself, maybe it's time to make a change. We'll talk more about it. Stick around, everybody. We got a lot more to get to. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Burns Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit theburnsfirm.com/shelter-to-soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. And return left sidelines off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Pass out. Wildcats. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Save the Storks. Help us reach the hearts of women with compassion, education, and holistic care. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
For the first time ever, Orange County Soccer Club are the 2021 USL Championship champions. OCSC beat the Tampa Bay Rowdies on Sunday night 3-1. Ronaldo Damus got the scoring started in the 24th minute. Then it was Damus again in the 38th minute, giving OCSC a 2-goal lead. Miko Kaningas would get the third goal of the night for OCSC to close out the first half. While close to a clean sheet and a shutout of the Rowdies, Tampa Bay did find the net in the 57th minute, but that would be all that OCSC was going to allow in the championship match. A huge congratulations to Orange County Soccer Club on their USL Championship title and on a great season. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the Mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Hay Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Welcome to Team Mazda of El Cajon. Thank you for joining us to make the trip to San Diego's first Mazda retail evolution facility. It takes years and years to put all this together and to make Team Mazda a reality. Unbelievable team here.
Thank you to John and Corinne for the opportunity. It's a privilege and an honor to say that this is the store I get to be the general manager of.
I do want to speak to what I have in my hand here. It is a big, heavy plaque representing the grand opening. So I want to present this to John, say thank you again.
We're very proud of the work that you're doing here. I commend you on your future prosperity. At this point, I want to invite you all outside to hear a drum demonstration.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
Our mission at Shelter to Soldier is twofold. We're saving lives two at a time. We adopt dogs from shelters and rescues across California, and we're training these dogs that are carefully evaluated for 12 to 18 months, and they're going to become psychiatric service dogs that are later placed with post 9/11 combat veterans.
As one of the leading law firms in California, we at the Barnes firm believe it is really important to give back to our community.
This team of amazing individuals has got to come together, and they've actually sponsored 3 dogs. One of them being our pal Barney, rescued out of a shelter, believe it or not. And he was named after the late Steve Barnes, which brings a lot of personal meaning to the team at the Barnes firm, to our organization. So being able to carry on that legacy through Barney's work and helping fellow veterans, really important to everybody, us included.
It's quite an honor for us to have Barney join the family, and we're looking forward to meeting the service member who he's paired up with.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YourView.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
It's our 200th show.
And we're celebrating big time.
Today on Subida.